Good morning. Happy Sunday, y'all. So I'm just out here getting my walk on. And, well, if y'all know me, y'all know I'm scared of dogs, right? So I'm walking at this park where they don't have to keep their dogs on a leash, Lord. And I see this police looking dog, Lord. I sure hope he trained good. And listen, y'all listen when I get past. Listen. See what I'm talking about right now? Let me tell you something. Please, Lord, don't let them come over here. Anywho, I ain't a dog hater. My God, baby got a beautiful dog, Lord. Oh my gosh. I'm in love with her dog. But I just think that sometimes dog owners can just assume that everyone loves dogs and that everybody is comfortable with dogs, and they're not. And I just don't understand why people are not more mindful of that. Same way everybody don't like whatever everybody don't like. You know, that's the reason why restaurants have a menu. Everybody don't like the same thing. You can't make me eat chicken parmesan if I don't like chicken parmesan. You understand me? Okay. But anyway, so it's a great day out here. So I'm encouraging all of my female plus size ladies to get out here and take you a little walk if you can. The weather is good. It may not be good in the area that you're in, but you in the Central Florida area is pretty good today. So I encourage you because it's much needed, and our health is on the line. Health and wealth, because health is wealth. You can be making good money, baby, but if you don't live long enough to spend it, then what good was it, right? So this is like my little second round. I try to walk for an hour, try to get some running and walk into it now, just because I felt like I needed to add something to it. Because like I said, I am plus size all day, every day. I always been plus size. That's just how my genetics, them squirrels. That's just how my genetics are. On my dad's side, my dad's side in particular, just heavier set. And you know, a lot of that is choice, but a lot of it is learned behavior. When you come up eating a certain kind of way, and that's how your family cook, and that's what y'all eat, then that's what you continue. So you have to make some choices to not do those same things in order to not get those same results. Now for me, I'm struggling with that because I have some great weeks where, hey, I ain't even eating no meat, not that much carbs or starches. And then the next week, let me get flyers 2 times back to back. You know what I'm saying? So I struggle with that just because sometimes my schedule is heavy and I'm tired. I don't feel like cooking when I get in. So if I didn't do like make sure that I got some in the house to make some salad with or something like that. If I'm not, being proactive, then it's easy to fall into eating something that's not that great, or eating something that you didn't even want to eat this week because you're trying to be more mindful of it. So, like I said, in this season, excellence is the standard, and for me, I feel myself getting a little more serious about everything. So, my desire is always to present my best self to my partner when I do get ready to settle down. And let me just say this, like, people probably be like, oh, she breathing hard, oh, she this and that. And instead of you looking at the big picture, like, yeah, she breathing hard because she walking. Or you ought to be walking, or you ought to be doing something. Getting a face regimen, doing something with your skin, or reading something, doing something with your mind. Everybody can be working on something. So the reality is that instead of judging a person, work on what you need to work on. And big up and salute that person for working on what they know they need to work on. Because we can be some judgmental people and then be the first ones to holler about, don't judge me, you can't judge me. Yeah, you don't want to be judged, but then you the first one judging. That's what we do. Myself included. Because you do it, don't make it right. But nevertheless, I had said that to say that I have been blessed with the ability to really not care what people say about some stuff. You understand me? Like, that's one of the most liberating and freeing characteristics that I have. Like, I could really not care about anything that you say that's negative. Right? Everybody don't have that. Some people very, 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 very sensitive, even about stuff people say that's lies, even about stuff that people say that's people who don't even know them. You know, now if it's something I don't like, it would be a lie. Like, you could tell the truth about me all day, because I done accepted everything that comes with me and that I've done. I've accepted that, good, bad, and the ugly, and the filthy, and the beyond disgusting. I've accepted those things. I am human. So you can't really move me by bringing up that type of stuff, right? I tell you about it. Let's sit down and have a chat. But when the lies is probably something that aggravate me. Cause if you're gonna tell it, I got enough foolishness with me now. You can tell, you could shake something up by telling the truth about the girl. You ain't gotta add nothing to it. Just tell the truth. But see, the reality is that people don't even be knowing you in the way that they think they know you to tell your truth. They going by what they heard. Because unless I told you, or unless you was there to see it, then you don't even know what's going on your own self. So chances are, you have to tell lies. Add to it. Thank you. No problem. You're welcome.
Have a great day.
You too, sir. So you have to rely on people when you don't really know their truth. But that's why I'm on here, because I'm going to be telling a whole lot of truths. Because I believe that really the truth do set you free. The truth about whatever you got going on, not only do it set you free, but it sets other people free, because somebody else is experiencing what you're experiencing as well. You're not the only person going through nothing in this life. I don't care if it's relationship issues, if it's issues with your children, if it's issues with your job. Woo! Everybody going through something. Everybody has some stories they can tell about something. And you may not be able to relate. You might be slim and fine or big and fine. So you may not could relate to me having a walk, me working on health issues, me having high blood pressure issues that I'm trying to tackle. That may not be your story. But when I start talking about these relationships, some of that might be your story. When I start talking about issues with your siblings, issues with your parents, some of that might be your story. Issues with money, issues with maybe your credit score, some of that might be your story. Somebody got something going on with them. You hear me? When I start talking about your kids with mental health issues, your kids that ain't performing good in school, when I start talking about some of those things, when I start talking about, listen, it ain't too much. I ain't gonna talk about if I feel like I have some type of knowledge or some type of positive to lend to that situation. I will touch on it, right? Just because overall, ideally, it's to add value and to add to your situation and to encourage you. Is the reason that I'm even on here. And sometimes you have to share your bitter moments or your experiences that you're fond of or that you're familiar with, to let people know that, hey, we all a work in progress. Well, I ain't gonna say we all a work in progress, because some people ain't working on nothing. You know what I'm saying? But even the ones that you ain't working on nothing, progressively you're gonna get worse. So yeah, I guess we are a work in progress. You either gonna progress to get better, or you gonna progress and get worse, right? Because you're not gonna stay the same. It's just not gonna happen. And why would you want to? You know what I'm saying? That's something that I was like dealing with. Like, it's no way that I would want a situation to be the exact same from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. No growth, everything stayed the same. Because everything didn't stay the same. It either got better or it got worse. Even if it was slightly, it didn't stay the same. Everything has to change at some point, right? And I think the problem that we have with people sometimes, whether it's our family, whether it's our loved ones, is that we either don't see any change because it's so slow, or because the change is not for the positive, right? Or we don't see the change that we wanted to see in them, or that we needed from them, right? But nevertheless, change has to come, you know. It has to come. If something is still the same, it must be dead. Because that's the only thing, and even decomposing happens to the dead, so even that's gonna change. So if something dead changes, surely something that is living should be showing signs of change, preferably for the better. And if you're not seeing that, then you got to check whatever that situation is. You got to reevaluate whatever that situation is. So yeah, again, presenting your best self to whatever your situation is, whether it's your job, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your kids, whether it's, your accountability with money, presenting your best self. I think that just should be a goal that everyone has, to present your best self. And your best self may not be what somebody else's best self is. But it's not a competition with other people. The competition is with you and the old you. That's it. And that's another place where we definitely drop the ball. When you start trying to compete with the next female or the next male, listen, you find an uphill battle. And I ain't saying that an uphill battle ain't never been won, but I'm just saying, if you don't have to do it, why do it? Right? It's enough competition in competing with your old self. That's all the competition really that you should need to be better than you once was. To add a person into it, man, listen, that's a waste of time. You know why? Because first of all, people try to present their best selves. Not their real selves, their best self. It ain't too many people that really want to present their blood raw self to you. They're going to try to present a better version. Right now, I ain't talking about people who have mental health issues, because sometimes they will show up raw and uncut. And there ain't nothing good or healthy about the way they showing up when they showing up off their meds and off their rocker. And I ain't talking about that, because we all know people like that. But I'm talking about people who have a pretty solid mental health state, and they want to present their better selves. Some people don't never want you to see them without makeup or without lashes or without a haircut. They just don't want to show up in that way. Me personally, I could show up in any way. I could take this wig off right now and walk this park with my brown cap on with no shame. You hear me? With no shame. But I don't really have no reason to do that right now. But if I did, if it was hot enough out here and I needed to do that, alright. Now that's one thing I can say. Coming from my mama and my auntie, listen, they gave me the ability to say, hey, this is what it is. Now you can accept it or you cannot accept it. I can say those sisters showed up for me in that way, and they present like that. You either gonna like it or you not. So I think that's something that gave me a pretty solid foundation of being who I am, because I seen them show up in a way that, hey, some days they gonna be looking good and some days they ain't. And if you say something about the days they ain't, then they gonna let you know everything about you that don't look that good either. How about that? So it behooves you to not say nothing about it. Just see it is what it is. Next time you see them, maybe it'll be a better day. Right? But yeah, ladies, I just encourage y'all to strive for the best you can strive for. Show up as your best self. Work on the things that you need to work on. Be the best person that you can be in the areas that you can be good in. And some areas you can't be good in, be great in the areas that you can be great in. Some areas you can only be okay in. Well, be okay instead of being terrible in those areas. Right? And parents, let me say this to y'all, because like I said, I work in the area of children and families. So it's all right to go get you some parenting classes. I don't care if don't nobody know. Sign up for some online, even if you got to pay for them. It's all right to improve in those areas that you want to be better in, because I just believe that not being a physical mom, but I just believe that as a mom, that's something that you would want to be the best you can be at. I would hope that it's the same for being a dad, that you want to. I know for my dad, he wanted to be the best dad that he could be. But now things are it's so much easier for you to go get that knowledge. You ain't got to go sit in a room full of class, in a room full of people to take a class. You could go online. You could go read on some tips on how to have a better relationship with your kids, how to be a better parent, how to, assert discipline without it being abusive, right? You can find everything you want to know about. You can almost find out, if not on YouTube, just online in general. The tools are there. Will you use them? Will you use them though? I mean, there's so many things that I just Google. I may hear about something and I just have to Google it. Something I ain't never heard of, or something I want to know more about, and boom, right there go the information. Never heard of this term or anything, but there go the information for it right there. Just because, what it say, seek and you will find. Yeah, everything ain't gonna just drop in your lap. But if it's something you want to be better at and do better at, you can do it. Men, whatever it is you want to be better at, you definitely could find some stuff. You could. I know y'all be, y'all chest be pulled out and y'all ego be big, so you really don't want to go ask such and such about this. You might have a home where they got a great relationship going on, and you do not want to go ask him, man, how y'all do that? Man, your lady so respectful. Your lady, she be looking nice. And then my old lady, man, I don't even like how she dressed. And, bro, how y'all do that? Y'all be so well put together. Like, a man don't want to go do that. But guess what? It's plenty of dudes on YouTube talking about stuff just like that. Tap in. Google it. Ask the question. You too can be better. You too can encourage your lady without putting her down. You too, you can do it. Cause really, not that I'm saying that, when you think about it, YouTube, what's the first thing you hear? YouTube. That's the first thing you hear before you hear the YouTube. Yeah. So it ain't nothing but a whole bunch of videos, tutorials, etc., just showing you that you too can do it. It ain't rocket science. Make it make sense. I just did. Yeah. I just did. So yeah. And that circles back to the why you don't have to be in competition with nobody. Because you too can do that. Now, let's be realistic about it. If you always was shaped up one way, nah. I ain't saying you finna turn into something else, nah. No. But you can be a better version of you, right? Because at the end of the day, like, it's more that matters. It's more that matters than your shape and how you look. Not that those ain't the first thing that's gonna get their attention, but that ain't what's gonna keep them. That ain't what's gonna keep them. Some of the most handsome dudes I ever met, it didn't keep me with you just because your face is nice. Your attitude is garbage. Or how you living, I can't co-sign. Or both. Or and some more. Or whatever. So it's more to it than just the physical. But yes, we do have to work on the physical. But you ain't just gonna have the shape that this other girl have, or your face may never be as clear and smooth and whatever as another girl. That's okay. Cause her pockets may never be like yours. She may never have the resume that you have. She may never be able to articulate or write a sentence in the way that the other girl can. Right? Everybody got something that's wonderful about them. You too. Tap into it. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. So that's all I really came on here today to tell y'all, because I do got to get the little jogging portion in. That ain't really what I want to do, but I'm going to do it. So yeah, enjoy your Sunday. But yeah, have a wonderful week. In case I don't have time to come back on here and talk to y'all before a week time. But yeah, just tap into the things that you want to tap in to make better. All the things you want to improve about your life. Tap into it. Start somewhere. I just started reading this book this morning before I came on this walk because I do want to increase the amount of books that I read per year. On average, I might get one in, right? That's not good enough. Like, for me, I want to be able to have read a couple books out the year. So I started reading this book, and basically it seems like it should be pretty interesting because it's tapping into the effect that childhood adversity has on you as an adult, right? So we know already how things that you go through as a child can show up in your adult life. You know, people always calling you ugly as a kid. It could show up as an insecure adult, etc., stuff like that. But that's more so on the mental and emotional level, right? But what it seems that this book is going to hone into is how childhood adversity shows up in your life, in your adult life, in physical ways. How those things that you have experienced as a child can show up in heart attacks, strokes, bad health, etc., like that. So I probably never really thought too much into that portion. So I'm looking forward to this book enlightening me on this topic, and you know, it'll just be a little more knowledge that I have, considering, like I said, that I work and deal with children and families. And when it get real good, and I'm gonna have another topic to come on here and talk about. But yeah, so y'all enjoy your day, enjoy your week, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have a good one.